Hello and welcome, listeners, to another episode of Tactical Awareness. It's Season 3, Episode 11. We're done another hyperpower. It's the Core Vanilla, or as I'm calling them now, soup faction for Ariadna. We're diving in today with Owen and Dan for their episode of Zeros and Heroes, where we each write a list, break down our favorite models, and talk about the models we might have overlooked. Let's dive in and get this faction overview underway. This is maybe the easiest one.
Dude, it was easier after going through all the greatest hits of the other ones, and then just putting them all together.
Left. Yeah, there's basically nothing left. There's one new thing. Hey, everybody, welcome to another Tactical Awareness. Heroes to Zeros, as we round out Ariadna with soup, with the leftovers in the freezer. This is the vanilla Ariadna episode, and I'm pretty sure I made the list everyone's expecting us to have out of this, which is like the shadow of a shadow. And I'll be curious to see what the rest of you guys made. So I'm going to go first just to get this out of the way. And then we can just say how much stuff got copied. But I went and made the most Merovingian list I could, which is a pattern. I'll post this in the patron chat. And you guys can see we got some sweet French models here, because that was the goal. This is the last bastion of Merovingians arriving in the vanilla soup list. So we've got Apache, BS attack +1 burst berserk with chain rifles. Apache BS attack +1 burst with chain rifles. Not in a duo. I didn't take the FTOs because the Apaches are just fine on their own, and they get to use their like berserk this way and just run free. I got Durak and Margot. I keep my Orange 5 to keep it the French theme. I've got a duo of Loups-Garoux, one with a boarding shotgun adhesive launcher, and one with a viral marksman rifle. I got a Chasseur FO. To call in that sweet tractor mule BS attack guided with the Katyusha missile launcher, MRL. And then in group 2, I've got a Bricard Harris with a Bricard AP sniper with BS attack shock, a Bricard paramedic with a marksman rifle, and Brigadier Brant, who is the unknown ranger light. And then I did this because I could, and I don't think everybody realizes you can. I have a duo of a dog warrior with a Moblot FTO TAC-aware paramedic, because you can duo dog warriors in this one. And all it is that he can pull his TAC-aware order if he wants and run across the board, pulling a paramedic to shoot medkits into him when he goes down. Because I think a dog warrior tied to a Moblot is very funny.
Not a terrible idea.
Nope. And then a tractor mule ML to a tractor mule, just like basic deactivator to turn off mines and crap, and to reload the disposable stuff that's on some of these guys. We've got some mines and odds and ends that can go away and then come back. And it's a cheap 5-point order. So obviously the big thing here is the Apache. This is the unit that, isn't in the other army lists, to the point where I think Vanilla has to have Apaches in them. What do you think about the Apache, Owen?
Oh, I brought two.
Of course you did.
I think they're the only thing in vanilla.
Did you duo them, or did you do what I did and take them by themselves?
They're duoed with other guys.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so you did duo them.
Yeah. That was my thinking. I guess I'll just post my list, because your list is not what it was exactly what I expected, I guess.
Yeah, I guess
you tried to lean on the French models.
I lean on the French stuff, yeah. And I'm going to talk quickly about just the other profiles, because we haven't talked about them before. Brigadier Jacques Barrat got a few changes. He's got his AP Spitfire. I think he had like a marksman rifle or something before. He's still camo, if you want to take the camo one, but I took the basic guy so that he could be in the Harris. Min -3, specialist operative stealth. Surprise attack -3 and terrain total. Never got no in gap or dogged though, so this guy is glassy as all get out. So he's like a poor man's Ranger with a X visor. The Bricard paramedic can bring him back to life potentially, though. And then that AP sniper on the other Bricard is nice, too. MSV1 on both the Bricards lets them shoot through the smoke if they need to. And then, just gunfight against things with mimetism. Loups-Garoux have that sweet viral stuff. So X-Visor, viral marksman rifle. So you can shoot up to 32 with no mods if he wants with that X-Visor. And then other than that, they don't really have any. There's no extra bonus for taking them. Everybody knows what Durak and Margot do, and that's really the uniqueness of my list. So let's take a look at yours.
Moblad FTO Tackaware with an HMG, because that, and then he's a Harris with 2 Lugaroos with viral marksmanship. So that's my like sit in my deployment and sometimes reach out and fight, but hopefully we don't have to ever fight. Vet Kazakh with the Apache as one duo, Barsuk with the other Apache as the other duo, the Vistrel Neurocinetic Portable Autocannon, a Rocket Lieutenant because it's cheap, a Dog Warrior, another Dog Warrior in Group 2 with Uxia, 2 Tractor Moles, and a Bait Rocket Camo Infiltrator. I thought about going 14 models instead of 15 just to pretend like I had a deployment zone guy. But then I went, I'll just bring another dude.
Extra models.
Yeah, pretty much.
Extra models on extra models on extra models.
But everything here is stuff that you've seen before or you just talked about.
Yeah. I mean, the Vestral Neurocynetics is pretty cool. Like, it's a heck of a profile, being able to have a Neurocinetic Portable Autocannon. I don't think we've talked about that guy before.
Yeah, no, we talked about him in whatever the Russian one is, Tartary.
In Tartary?
Yep.
Yeah.
Tartary, their AVA too.
Because I had 2 tank hunters, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm just going to bring 2 of those guys instead.
Because they're an amusing sapper profile that gets smaller when they go into sapper.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, one of the big things in this list is the fact that you can have duos and Harrises in vanilla. You can have duo Chernobyls in this too. I'm curious if anybody took that. You didn't so far, but
can you? I thought they were AVA 1.
Sure can.
You can have one in a duo.
Oh, really? The fire team, one. But the fire team thing says
they can do it with something else. No, it says 1.
Min 1, max 2 Chernobyl in fire team's Ariadna.
Are you looking at the reinforcement ones? No, they don't even have those.
No,
they do, but he's not. It's 0 and then 1 Cherno. Ariadna fire team 1.
Weird. I'm looking at. What am I looking at then?
It's the 7th.
Oh, maybe I'm looking at a different fire team's charter. It loaded the old one. Oh, it loaded the old one. That's why. It for some reason it loaded the fire team chart from the last army I was on, and it was showing me a weird. There it is. Now it's 1. Yeah. So it showed me different fire teams because it showed me fire teams from what was the last one we did last night from Cosmoflot.
Right.
That was weird. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, you could do it with a
everything in there.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I like the Lugaroo. I think they're like a thing that is actually worth it in vanilla along with the Apaches just to get access to viral, because you have like no weapons that hurt BTS in this faction. And so getting one, like, because they don't get breaker, they don't get EM. This is the guy who gets to hit not the armor stat. So like I think you should bring it if you're gonna play vanilla.
Yeah.
And so like it doesn't surprise me that you popped him up. I was on the fence about the viral sniper, but eventually I folded against it because it can't go on suppression.
Right. It doesn't give you the option of holding back.
Yeah. It's damage 5 though. Wait a second. Are they all 5 now? Did they change?
The viral sniper? Well, because they used to be 15, so most sniper rifles start at 5.
I have to go check Hakaslam real quick.
And see if they got screwed. No, I'm pretty sure most viral snipers go to.
No, but they weren't.
Okay, it's 5. It's 5 now. No, they were 7
before.
It was
really?
7. They're still doing
updates.
stealth upgrades.
They're still stealth updating. Yeah, because the viral marksman
we may say might be invalid. They may have changed everything. Can't wait for the big tournament we're gonna play in 2 weeks. And
I'm playing a tournament this weekend. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen?
I mean, in vanilla
mid game.
Like one funny thing, Will Wallace gained and lost a lieutenant profile twice upon the release of this game in vanilla.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he's got 1 in this one. He's just got his basic lieutenant ones. He can't use inspiring.
Like day 1, he didn't have it. Day 2, there was a profile for lieutenant. It was there for like another day, and then it was gone again.
Yikes!
And it's like, so just make him be allowed to be lieutenant. Give vanilla something, because at least this faction would use it, because he'd be able to kind of play a Caledonian army, because you'd still have your Highlanders.
Yep.
And like,
because those are the things that we haven't mentioned that are still in here is the rest of the Scots, like the 45th Highlander rifles are here, the Galwegians.
They're the only thing.
The only new thing.
Everyone else is gone.
The Scots guards in
and
here?
And the Moblot, I suppose. The Moblot is the other one.
Yeah, the Moblots.
But everybody else was already in. They were either in Cosmo, or they're gone.
Mhm. Just disappeared.
I think it's wild that this faction lost McMurrow.
Yeah, I know. He's just gone.
Oh, I forgot about him.
I know, and they really pulled back the the mercenary availability across the board. But I think what was it? Cosmoflot still gets what's his face? The not Wolverine guy.
Oh, the Wolver.
Yeah, what's his name?
Caden.
No, not Caden, the other guy.
Wolfgang.
No, with the Wolverine claws. Wolfgang
Wolf.
Wolfgang Amadeus Wolf. Yeah, Wolfgang Wolf. He's the one that they still get because that's typically in nomads. They hang out with the nomads, just like McMurrow hangs out with Hawk and nomads because he's on the run from the long arm of the law.
All right, Dan, post it.
Scott, throw it up.
Okay, so I can't post it because I built it on my phone and the server hasn't updated for me to bring it up, and I can't take screenshots that are long on my phone because it's outdated. So I'll just read it off to you as I slowly build it in Army Builder because I'm bad at this life. All right, so I brought the double dynamo because they can still duo.
Double dynamo? Which ones?
The paramedics.
Paramedics.
I mean, makes them specialists. You're not really going to fight with them much anyways. They got smoke grenade launchers they can have some fun with, and they have the mine dispenser.
Yeah.
So basically they're full on support.
Laying down smokes.
Laying down smokes, laying down mines, pushing buttons. For 30 points, I think that's a crazy duo.
It's a pretty good deal. Yeah, it's pretty good deal.
I brought a Visceral Neurocynetics, just like Owen, because why not? And then
it's pretty cool.
And then I found the Rokot lieutenant profile, and I was like, you know what I want? I want a 9-point lieutenant.
Yeah.
So I don't think does that exist anywhere else?
SMG and grenades and D charges. He's a super weird lieutenant. No, the Rokots kept everything. That's why we were all like, man, the Rokots really just get all this stuff.
There is one other 9-point lieutenant. Those wonderful Kosetsu.
Oh, there's the Kosetsu. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He has an AP rifle though.
He does. And
Kosetsu does.
Do they have D charges?
No, they barely have rules.
So anyway,
they barely have armor.
I thought it was too funny not to take.
Sure.
And then Nauf, because Nauf is only in 4 factions now, and I was like, you know what? I used to love Nauf in my O12, and so
Nauf can technically get a bonus dice in this one, can't he? Because he can. Is he a wild card, or is he in any of the lists?
I don't think so. No.
Fully unlinkable. Weird. Because if you go in one of the Harris teams, then he'd be able to do it. But yeah, no, he's not available at all. So strange.
Then I grabbed the Chasseur, Forward Observer for 20 points.
Chasseurs are still great. 6 cents camo markers. Although they got rid of that silly interaction. The Mine Layer, you said?
The Forward Observer.
Ep11, yeah.
Just another, on the line point button pusher. Could be good. I brought a Kibbervolk and Dozer KVP with the crazy Koala chest hammer and then the arm turret, because why not? I brought another Rokot as a infiltration camo, just throw some people off. Maybe they waste time trying to kill them. And then I brought a bear, the beta one, because more smoke. And then I brought 2 Straylocks with T2 marksman rifles because they seemed good.
There's a bear in this one? What bear? There's Dog Warriors. I mean, the Polaris team? There's no Polaris team in this.
Yeah,
they're not?
There definitely is.
I'm pretty sure I'm in the right faction here.
Polaris I think Ash is in the wrong faction.
Yeah. It's light infantry.
Yeah. It's above Van Zandt, below the pilots. It has a red star / cross.
What's happening?
Blue circle.
Yeah.
Red cross.
I believe you. Oh, there it is. It's in light infantry. Weird. It's not in Warband. So yeah, you're right. He's here.
Yay, I'm not cheating.
No, it was weird because I was at the Dog Soldier and he used to be down there and he's not anymore.
Mm-hmm. And then Margot and Duroc, because why not? I almost brought Van Zandt and I was just like, no, not good enough anymore. Not good enough anymore.
Not an army of superheroes.
So yeah, just kind of like a greatest hits. I don't know if it has anything that works together very much at all, but
well, you leaned right into the a lot of individuals that all do a thing. It's very much soup. You know what I mean? Like you had a bunch of redundant gunfighting pieces, bunch of button pushers, paramedics on the way if they need to bring the bear back, or Duroc. Zippy paramedics. They get to double down their medkit shots, which the bear and also Margot and Duroc love. Because
I didn't even think about that. What a savant I am.
Oh yeah, if you double tap medkits into
of course.
Duroc, he's just gonna stand right back up because he's Fizz 16. Same with the bear.
How do you feel,
80%
Ash,
chance.
having played this faction the most, that most of the profiles in this faction show up in Tartary?
Like
more profiles in vanilla are in Tartary than are in vanilla.
This is the most vestigial. Like Cosmoflot does everything that vanilla Ariadna does better. Because it's still a soup of like the other factions. It still has access to like a bunch of like the random things like you keep Mirage 5 and like all the best things, really, because they didn't really update the Merovingians. So like it's like cool
Tartary
here, who cares?
Is just the vanilla list.
Yeah.
Because Tartary has all of the same things. And the only thing this gets that Tartary doesn't is like Unknown Ranger and Van Zant, who neither of us, like none of us brought them. Nobody was jumping to go.
I brought Van Zant in my my US Ariadna army because I had to.
But like you wouldn't bring him here.
No.
Because why would you? Because
as soon as you have Mirage 5, you have a Van Zant with a bear or with a dog. So he just does it better. Who's a specialist? Yeah. Who just does it better.
Yeah.
Who's BS14.
The craziest thing is that Margot is the same price as
and also
Van Zant.
NCO. Right.
Sorry,
and also shock immune.
She's actually cheaper than Van Zant.
And she's better because she has a fucking grenade launcher, an AP rifle, a light shotgun. So she's every gun. She's mimetism. She's NCO. She's shock immune.
Yeah.
Like she's BS attack shock on all of her guns. She has shock grenade launcher and shock AP rifle and shock light shotgun.
Yep.
Yeah. She does everything.
And she's a specialist. And better BS, better armor, an actual BTS.
And she can scalp it just by having Duroc put grenades places and be like,
I'm just talking purely her for 33 points versus him for 35. Yeah. Like if you look at just the two of them,
they're both NCO, which is really funny.
I mean, I guess Van Zant is like, he can martial arts. Is that a good thing? No. Like, cool.
She brought the new martial arts, a giant werewolf with his PS4 AP close combat weapon and his berserk and his martial arts too. Even he's not even berserk. He's a martial arts dog, which none of the other dogs are, which is super funny.
I think the problem with Ariadna is they used to have a lot of cool berserk or whatever. They used to like bully people with their CC, but now that CC has like multiple dice with the martial arts, like 3, 4, 5. It's just, I mean, it was always risky, but now it's like so much more risky to be in melee with the actual good people in melee. Does that make any sense?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, now the good people in melee are really good in melee.
But I mean, like, I don't think Ariadna has any of that.
Yeah,
Do they have any martial arts level 3?
They really don't have any good fighters, which is kind of weird. No, martial arts 2 is as high as they go. I mean, they
have a couple of active turn +1 burst, but no defensive +1 burst.
Wally has Natural Born Warrior CC attack -3, berserk +3, which is sort of that, but doesn't do it all the way.
Because like even the bears with their berserk used to be like, I'm gonna hit you, you can hit me, that's fine, I probably won't die. Now you don't necessarily hit them.
Like the Apache has CC attack -6, CC attack +1 burst. So like almost, like that's pretty close, but he's got no positive mod and he doesn't have Natural Born Warrior. So even against a level 2, he's going to be rolling on 19s now and isn't immune to it.
Yeah, I mean, like guys like the SAS, or they're not like sloughs. They're like they can hold their own, but it's not like something you want to be actively doing with them ever. I think for the most part, maybe I don't know. Just something that popped in my head.
Yeah, and he gets so much Renzi because you have all of this like random stuff, right? Like it. The nice thing is, I don't know who I would attack in this list. Right. If I take out one of these pieces, they're all going to be spread out and they're all going to be doing different jobs. And a bunch of it's like response stuff, like Margot and Duroc. So like, yeah.
I guess the real question is going to be: you just kill the chasseur, and then he can't do objectives anymore.
Yeah. Well, no, Dynamos
Or
can.
like the dynamos, yeah.
Sure.
So his no cover motorcycles.
You have to
and
kill
the one camo
Margot,
marker.
the motorcycles, and the chasseur.
I mean, Margot's going to
that's quite a
die
bit.
through her own choices.
Yeah. Or push buttons and win, right? Like I don't know, four specialists seems fine.
Fair enough.
I'm thinking about. I guess the Rokat has infiltration camo, but it's no mimetism camo, so everyone knows what it is.
You know who it is. Yeah, you know who it is exactly.
Oh, I don't even know if he's worth 10
but
points.
He's got courage. I mean, infiltrating one-use camo grenades is cool. I like being able to drop a D-charge on something. I think it's worth it. It's got cool different things you can do.
Yeah, but deploying on the line has its own benefits.
Yeah, being able to creep across and go kill a mind wipe with a D-charge.
Or just eat the mine that's waiting for him. Like it's up for me. It's my job to do this. So
what's your job?
People can I see you place 9 crazy koalas. I will eat half of them.
Let me see how many of these zones of control I can hit in a single move.
Yeah, I'm gonna move, and I'm
gonna click every zone of control possible.
That happened to me my first year at Cold and Carbonite. Was some guy had a bunch of crazy koalas kind of put out in some weird buildings that there's like impossible for me to get to even kill them or hurt them or whatever. And they just activated my flashball spot and just ran him 12. Didn't even try to dodge, just and just ate three. They just ate three of them. And he was like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah. He was like, "I did all this work to create this net," and you're like, "That's cool. I just spent 7 points to get rid of it." Bye.
I'm like, I'm not risking my big boy. That's crazy.
What are you talking about? I'll make 17 armor saves on this guy. It'll be fine. And if I don't, it's fine.
Like, I'm glad you used your mind layer and 2 orders, and I spent 1.
And we have succeeded. Everything's fine.
I remember when I first really started playing this edition or N4. When I used the Magari Brigade in the new edition, where I'm like, I'm just going to throw a whole bunch of mines out there. And then my opponent just went like, I walk my flashball spot and it kills all the mines and dies. And I'm like, all right, we're not going to make that mistake again.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just good to have a cheap guy that would spend 1 order to potentially clear a bunch of stuff. But yeah, infiltrate's always nice, except when, of course, the missions where you have the exclusion zones, I suppose.
You can always roll the bad dice. Just take that -3.
You just take the roll.
I mean, I brought
-3. Yeah, it's 50-50 on your whip, right? Yeah.
It's against Fizz.
It's against Fizz?
Yeah, it's against Fizz.
Yeah.
Yeah. I brought Uxia for that reason. Like specialist Uxia to either be I'm going to push the button depending on the mission, or go past the middle and try and roll to 16. Like
16 is respectable for past the middle.
Yeah. And like having smoke grenades right there. I mean, the fact that she only throws smoke on 13s now, it's pretty tough. It ain't what it used to be.
It's risky. Honestly, I like that a lot, though. I really like the smoke changes, just making it not like, this guaranteed thing that happens. Because it's like a really, really strong ability. But then they made disco balls. It does make
dueling
really
your
easy.
Smoke grenades way more powerful, too. It's like a reason to take these duos.
But then they gave disco balls to is there any disco balls in this faction?
No, God, no. There's no tech like that. Not a single one.
It's like everybody got disco balls except Ariadna. Because disco balls do have a positive range.
Yeah,
I don't think I ever realized that Ariadna didn't have a good martial arts guy.
No, never.
It was because martial arts, the difference between martial arts level 5
That was it. They had all berserk instead. They didn't fight martial arts because they just died, right?
Because the dogs would berserk and stuff like that.
What was the Norwegians and stuff with berserk, right?
Because Pavel has martial arts 3 in.
He's got 1.
I don't Ranger
level 3.
But Ranger has decent.
No, he's like level 2, or he's Natural Born Warrior and like a combo. He is martial arts of 1 with Natural Born Warrior.
There you go. Wallace is Natural Born Warrior, yeah. So, but he's also got berserk +3.
But now that it's not opposed, or now that it is opposed, it's much harder for them to actually like finish people off.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a not multiple dice. It's like, I'm hitting on 24s. And you're like, I'm hitting on 20s, but I get 2 dice. You're like, I don't feel comfortable making that roll.
But back in the day, you'd hit somebody with AP Berserk Highlander, you know what I mean? And like, just pieces.
It's
And so then the value of Berserk goes down. This whole faction leaning into Berserk automatically has their value go down because they don't have access to the rest.
yeah, I think the Berserk change. I think we all agreed on previous episodes that it was a good change because
For sure.
but it definitely hurt Ariadna.
It did definitely hurt Ariadna. I mean, Ariadna is just, I don't know. So we've done all of the Ariadna factions.
We have
across the 4 of them. What's the one you don't want to play against? Like if you're lining
Cosmo.
up, you're at the tournament,
Cosmo.
you're on
It's
round
easy.
4,
It's Cosmo.
and it's
Cosmo.
like I'm playing Ariadna.
Is there even a
Which
debate?
Ariadna
I
are you
don't
playing?
even know. Like I won't really. I don't think I can hear any other debates. Like Tack's okay. Cosmo's the best of the 4. And it's a race to the bottom with US Ariadna and Vanilla. Vanilla, I think, is above US Ariadna just because they have some more options.
I do think Vanilla is above US Ariadna as well.
Yeah. I think it's Cosmo. What do you think, Dan?
I mean, yeah, Cosmo definitely has the strongest list, but I don't know if the Tack and Vanilla are that much behind it. I guess they are, but it's like I don't know. US Ariadna is definitely at the bottom.
Like if you just look at Frontovniks and what they do in Cosmo versus what they do in Tack, like they're just better in Cosmo because they just
the
do it with
Cosmo list
everything.
lets you have like the cheap cheerleader, but still pure 5-man core.
Yeah, I guess it's just the strength of the duos.
Yeah.
Just everything can be linked in Cosmo so easily. Yeah. Honestly, for me, Tartary kind of speaks to me as like a fun, cool faction.
It's still a great faction.
Neat things. Well, just like not even like strength, but just kind of like a play style. Like if I was to collect Ariadna, I think I'd lean more into Tartary.
Because they do have the Dynamo, which is I think a big thing in their favor. That Mind Dispenser motorcycle.
My argument for Cosmo is that in a mixed mission format at a tournament, like let's say a 5-day or a 5-game tournament, you have more of a depth of selection in Cosmo to adapt lists. So when I say I'd be like, ugh, if I saw Cosmo across from me, I think you'd have a harder time making like a mission specific list in TAC, much harder in US Ariadna and
I don't believe US Ariadna can make mission specific lists. They're all just the same list.
Foxtrots and they hope for the best.
Yeah. How do you push the buttons? Foxtrot.
Marauders and Foxtrots are going again.
Well, then I die. Like
I guess I die then.
Then I roll real good on the opposite side.
That's right. Can I hope this armor 3 carries me through this whole thing?
Yeah.
Whereas like Cosmoplot has this sort of like depth of talent where they can make a variety of different lists that can do things and because like the core ingredients are so cheap, like the Rokout Fire Team and things like the Patchers and stuff like that, like they're just so affordable. You've got like 150 points you can kind of flex around that baseline. What do you think, Owen? You asked the question.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was just curious if there'd be some argument another way.
No. So N4 to N5, Ariadna, in some ways stronger, in some ways weaker.
I think the loss of Caledonia is an incredible blow. I think Caledonia had
the Mormares were like you never want to get hit by a Mormare. Mormare will kill anything in the game.
The Mormare was like their best face-up fighting guy, and he's just gone. And they kept a bunch of random, I'm not going to say garbage, but it's pretty much garbage in the state of the game. Because like, when are you ever going to bring a Galwegian now? Like, you can't make them regular. That? The Highlander rifle. The 45th Highlander.
Oh, because you can't take Lieutenant William Wallace in Vanilla.
So you can't make them regular. Berserk it's opposed now, so they're barely better than just a regular fighter. Their smoke grenades are on flat fizz instead of 17s. They're on 14s, which is still not bad, but it's not 17s. And they're only 5 or 10 points in a faction where you're actually going to struggle to get to 300 points if you start bringing all of your skirmisher troops. So, like, why would I ever bring a Highlander rifle over, like, a dog? Like, a dog face would just fill the points, does the exact same job, but has 3 wounds to do it.
Yeah.
Like, and he's immunity arm and blah, blah, blah. And he has all the other things going for him. But, like, Yeah, like why are you here? And like Cameronians are gone, which were a cool alternative to Dog Warriors. McMurrow's gone. Um, I mean, they are they stronger in some ways? Yeah, because like the nature of fire teams have made everyone weaker, so that their ability to do like Vet Kazakhs and Nauf and like these individual fighty pieces, or like the durability of a dog running at you, has doubled compared to what it was before. Because like
into a fire team,
yeah, well, in anyone, right? Anyone who's not using any kind of increased burst ability, right? Because now the fire team can't just go, well, I shoot you with 2 combis. Oh, I won the roll, you die. Like that doesn't happen anymore, or can't happen. At best, they do 2 if they crit you and you fail both. Whereas before it would be like they could do 4. So like I think that's really good. But otherwise, they got cool stuff in Cosmo. I think bears are good.
Creed. And they exist in core Ariadna now too.
Yeah.
Well, bears have such a different feel now.
Oh, just one more bears point, are really different from dogs. Like
because it's like okay, the one guy has the chain rifles, but the heavy shotgun one is it's just so different. Because you can't just like walk over and put templates on things.
That's it. He throws grenades now. He goes face to face.
That was his BS 20 grenades. Yeah, his no fail state grenade. My favorite for him is his spec fire grenade.
Yeah, just over
on 14s.
On 14s, just over a wall.
That's actually terrifying.
No, sorry. It's actually on 17s because grenades do have a positive range band. He dings you on a grenade on a 23. Yeah. when he walks up and throws a grenade at you.
Yeah, he's 17s over a wall with an 8.
Yeah, he spec fires grenades on 17s. That one.
He doesn't have grenades.
The shotgun one?
Right. Doesn't he? It's only the smokes.
I saw smoke grenades. They thought of it. They thought of it.
I was like, this seems crazy.
Garbage. Take it away.
The chain rifle, the alpha does, right?
Yeah, but he doesn't have the +4 extra.
Right. He still does on 10s, which is great.
No, it's 13.
Oh, 13. That's right. Yeah. 13s. Yeah. I mean, that's still not nothing. That's
so maybe the alpha. Maybe the alpha bear is pretty good after all.
I mean, I think he was solid already. It was like, do you want him to support and kind of fight, or do you want him to fight? And that's kind of the difference, in my opinion, between the two of them. Where like he's I'm going to go kill you with my up damage double burst template chain rifles versus, I'm going to clear the path for my friends and be a pylon for enemies to get through.
Mm-hmm. But we also haven't really seen the impact on the meta of albedo, where before it was just like you always bring MSV2 something.
I think that's going to be really so meta dependent upon like what factions become so popular, because some just don't have access to it. Like Ariadna doesn't have access to it, period.
But what I'm curious is,
but they're also barely affected by it because they've got like some MSV1s and a couple marksmen.
But what I mean is like the trickle down effect of everyone's bringing MSV2. People start leaning on albedo and destroying all the MSV2 pieces, and there's more marksmen in the game, so albedo seems pretty good.
Well, let's go to.
Then people stop bringing MSV2, and then smoke goes up in value. But then smoke went down in value because it's harder to throw, and then bear reigns supreme.
I like that the image on them is backwards, where if you click the little picture of what the model is, the Masha is the bear, and the Polaris bear pod is the Masha. I think
there's 0 albedo in Starmada. There's 1 albedo in 012. There's 0 albedo in Starmada, and there's 1 albedo in.
This is a rich kid thing.
Yeah. Like, I'm just curious.
Where do you want to go?
Pano. I honestly think it's Pano who has the most. I'm trying to figure out who has the most albedo. Because you're talking about albedo, right? Like,
I guess White Banner has a bunch.
There's 2 in vanilla Pano. There's the same thing.
This is not super common. Not super common.
There's the Crux and the Friar. Well, it's a reason to take them now because it doesn't go away. There's like 1 to 2 models. The Fireflies are the standout, right? Where it's like, Jesus Christ.
I think these guys. I think the Satra in Aleph is the standout because he's albedo 6 MSV2.
Yeah, I'm looking at him right now. Is he in like Core Aleph or is he in OSS?
Both.
Albedo 6 MSV2. So what are you bad against?
Other albedo. The Satra is albedo in Core Aleph.
Well, I'm looking at skills and there's no albedo in Core Aleph.
Okay, because it's an equipment.
Is it? Oh, it is equipment, right? Yeah, no. Satra, I'm an idiot. Yeah, okay, so he's in that one, AVA 2. So you can have 2 of them.
Yeah. You get 1 in SSS, but he links in there, so
and then full X you get none.
Drakios and the Overdrawns have albedo.
And
The Overdrawn having albedo 6 is a nightmare potentially. I love that his guided is based on a Tinbot, but
Tin Body CM guy -6.
yeah.
Because the miniature came with it, right? There was one that was in there. He's also got Firewall -3, which is cool. So he's less hackable.
The Guilo got albedo, who is a big deal because he's also a -6 MSV2.
Well, he's got nanoscreen too, still, doesn't he?
Sure does. And now he got an EM carbine +1 burst.
But nanoscreen doesn't give. Did that nanoscreen ever give you mimetism or no?
It gave you permanent cover.
You don't want it to have. Yeah, it gives what it gives you now is it gives you -3 to hit. That's taken away by direct template weapons.
Yeah.
So it's not cover. So like marksmanship doesn't get rid of it because it's supposed to be like a swarm of like nanobots.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. The new Guilo is scary, but I think all of Shanzvasti got better.
Skull was always scary. He was like the stealthy Karantid, basically.
Yujing has 3 albedo pieces that filter throughout the factions. The Silver Snakes are a new unit that have albedo 6 and have access to a sniper and a marksman, K1 sniper and K1 marksman.
Yeah.
The Horang are with the reinforcement troops and White Banner, and then Legong.
Weirdly, the Nomads have almost no albedo access.
Pano has 5.
Yeah, Pano's just swimming in it. I think you're right. It's a rich kid thing, right?
Yeah.
It
showed up in Combined Army. It showed up in Aleph. It shows up in Pano.
Yeah,
it shows
it's
up
not.
in
There's zero albedo in all of Nomads. So far, Nomads and Ariadna don't have it at all.
Salad has albedo.
Oh yeah. So at least one model.
So does their plane.
Does it really? That's so funny. Another reason to take the Zabak Arrow unit. Go for it, Zabak. Does Baram have any?
He's my favorite Arrow unit. I don't care what anyone says.
Wait, he doesn't have the mimetism?
No.
He just has albedo instead?
Yeah. But he's got 3 wounds instead of 2.
He does.
And he dismounts and he turns into a little dude and runs around.
With the Spitfire. Yeah, he like pops out of it.
All right, well, whatever.
I'm actually excited to see the model for that one because I feel like it's going to be fun.
You Doctor 2 him, and he comes back with 2 wounds, armor 3.
Okay, so
weird. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, right.
He Doctor 2 him,
and he's 37 points. He's the only one that I've actually been like, I might bring this guy. I might actually bring of all of them that I would bring. It's the one who just gets shot out of the air.
He's shot out of the air, but then he's just an albedo 6 Spitfire.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
So interesting interaction with albedo. I think this is only one in the game. One of the new White Banner troops, called the Inchi, has a K1 sniper rifle sapper profile.
Okay.
And so, because of the what's the rule? It's
NFB.
NFB. So NFB
negative feedback.
Yeah, negative feedback. So it starts with albedo. Sapper gives you mimetism and cancels your albedo.
Weird.
So while you're in Sapper. But that means, so it sounds like a bad thing, but if you're deploying against MSV, you don't put it in Sapper.
Mm-hmm.
And if you aren't playing against MSV, then you can put him in Sapper. And you have Mim.
Choices.
That's pretty cool, right?
There's nothing wrong with
Although Sapper got a lot worse because it's not 360 visor anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, you're only looking one way through the sandbags.
But still, I thought I was disappointed, and then I was intrigued because it's the cleverness of the what you could do, and because it's the K1, it's like it can kill anything.
Now you've got me thinking that you should probably, if you have access to albedo, you should probably bring it.
Yeah.
Good thing we're talking about Ariadna today.
Yeah.
We're done because we're trying to figure out who we're going to talk about next. That's what we're doing right now.
Oh.
Right? Yeah. Like, what's the next faction? Because we have to decide who's the zeros now. Like, we've done Pano, who got butchered. We've done Ariadna, who got butchered.
I mean, Pano got butchered in a certain frame. I mean, I guess from factions. The number of factions got
number of factions lost, right?
Yeah.
And now we're into like nobody else has lost anything.
Pano lost more tags than other factions lost factions.
That's what I mean.
We could go through NA2.
No, who gives a shit about NA2?
I'm just saying, they got butchered too.
Dead last, outvoted. Yeah. Sit down, Dan. Sit down. Shut your mouth.
Part of me wants to talk. Part of me wants to talk about the new JSA, but it's like incomprehensible to me because I don't have any models to tie all these names to.
It doesn't matter. We can do JSA next.
I'm just pretending that JSA doesn't exist, and if I face them,
I was really tempted to take JSA this weekend.
We'll figure it out.
and go to this winter war with the JSA. But I think I'm just gonna take my list that I'm taking to Colder Than Carbonite so that I can try it.
Okay, well, who did we not talk about last time?
I don't think we touched Combined Army.
We never touched Combined Army at all. So I was going to suggest Combined Army because they're the ones that actually kind of got better, but also lost a bunch of shit in their vanilla list. Like, they took some real hits to their power pieces. So I would say Combined Army is maybe the one to do next. Because the Morats got, like, way better. Shazvasti
got way better.
Like, Onyx got way better. Combined got, like, way toned down. Almost overtoned down. Like, one of their core lists just went away.
Kind of, I guess. I don't know. I think Combined Army has access to fire teams now, which is pretty huge.
Yep, and they got Achilles and stuff like that too. Like, I'm not saying it's. I'm just saying, like,
Pandora.
They got massively
Pandora.
changed.
That's what they got. They got Pandora in their faction.
They got Team Achilles fire teams with the Well, the thing is that the Team Achilles fire team never gets any bonuses though. They just get movement bonuses, right? Because none of them have the same name, and they're only duos.
Look, Achilles is garbage, and I was never going to look at Achilles and be like, "Oh, and Achilles is here."
Thank God he's back with a nano screen now.
Wait a second, they've got Patrocles. What am I going to do now?
Yeah. Goodbye.
They've got Teucer with a neurokinetic plasma sniper.
Okay. We'll save it for the next episode. So we're agreed. We're going to do Combined Army next. Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
Sweet. Done.
Let's
the
do it.
Combined armies.
The combined army means then we got to go make some lists. All right, fantastic. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. And we're gonna make some army lists, and we'll be back next week. Which one are we? What order do we want to do it in? Are we gonna go?
I mean, we've ended on the vanillas on all of these.
Yeah, we should always do that. Yeah, it was oldest to newest. What we did last time. Oldest to newest would be Morats, Shaz, Onyx combined.
But Morats are the sexiest, so maybe we do them second last.
I mean, I think Shazvasti got the biggest glow up out of all of them.
They did.
I think it's like the 0 to hero, not because they got any buffs, but purely because everyone else is shittier.
Through the context of the game.
Yeah, the game changed. Shazvasti got a buff.
All right, Shazvasti, Morats, Onyx combined. That'll be the order, and we'll be back with our next one next week. Thanks for listening, everybody. Talk to you later.
Peace.